the incredible Edible Aquinos. I am the founder and executive director of the Black Sex Worker Collective, which was founded in 2018 in Brooklyn, New York. We are a collective of individuals and groups that come together to work on policy and different projects that highlight and support current and former Black sex workers. Those are our priority. And we do a lot of mutual aid and as well as art projects and work on different levels of policy to change the lives of sex workers. Intersectionality for me is the inclusion of multiple people's experiences when we come together as a group in order to have different perspectives on how we can tackle different issues, and not it just being a singular thing or just from this one experience, but making sure that we consider the different experiences of different people, because everyone is coming from, different backgrounds and so on. The Black Sex Worker Collective, currently we're working on building our infrastructure in the United States, here in Berlin and other parts of the world. We're working on ways to raise money in order to support the community, because we know that through a lot of the legislation and the laws and just public perception, that sex workers are being left out of just simple aid from their government or even their community in order to be able to sustain a life. So we're trying to figure out different strategies to keep funds coming in from individual donors. And we're also working on different ways to try to change public perception of how we are viewed, because there's a very skewed perception of who sex workers are and actually what sex is. I'm constantly saying this, but what sex is and what work is. So we're kind of working as well on different strategies to change that public perception just through basic language and just thinking about, trying to cut this conflation of trafficking and sex work, because it's actually not the same thing, but there's always a lot of conversation when we talk about sex work with human trafficking or sex trafficking. So that's the basis of our work. There's a lot of voter suppression that's happening in the United States. And we're trying to push back against that and also work with the politicians that are very pro-sex work and not trying to reframe or redefine what decriminalization of sex work is. There's a lot of that happening as well in the United States, where people are we're pushing for decrim, but really what they're saying is that they're pushing for the Nordic model. So we're working towards building campaigns for that, so that we can, have a better life for us all around, and we can actually have full rights as human beings that are part of a labor force. And speaking of labor, we're also working on more so having our fight be about labor rights and not just sex worker rights, because I think when we kind of keep it there at it just being a sex worker issue, whatever that means to public perception, it means a lot. I can go on about that, but we don't have time for that. We're trying to just make sure that people understand that we're not just sex workers, we're also a part of the work market. And we want you to see us as laborers. We want you to see us as people that are contributing to this society, that contribute to our community. So we're, fighting for that labor cause. And here in Berlin, we are part of the workers' union now. We just did that at the end of 2020. So just trying to make sure that people understand that we're here and we're not going anywhere. With intersectionality within the collective, what we do is anyone that's a current or former Black sex worker, actually anyone actually can really be a part of the collective. You don't have to be Black, But what needs to be understood is that this is going to be Black leadership, and sex worker rights issues are always going to be at the forefront. So anyone that actually gets involved with the collective, doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you come in, you just know that you're going to be dealing with Black feminine leadership, and this is all about sex worker issues from the gate at the forefront always. That's the foundation. And we are very much open and happy to have people from different educational backgrounds and life experiences to come in, because we understand that, there are people that have, whatever walk of life that you're from, you have something valuable to add. Everyone does not know everything, and there's things that we might not consider for different reasons. We try to make sure that when people are coming in, that we take everybody into consideration, because we're all here existing, with different experiences, and we want to be able to have that. We want to be able to say that we thought about this really deeply, and we didn't just leave it at a superficial level.